If y'all will, somebody will read the minutes and approve them. I'll take this out for her to start counting.
Okay, minutes from annual meeting, January 22nd, 2024. Pre-meeting discussion with Game Warden Shanafelt. He discussed safety, how his agency helps and is available through Trinity County Sheriff's Office, and advised on and answered questions from members. Call to order, Kelly Ron called. Do y'all want me to read these or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Call to order, Kelly Ron called to order at 10:14 a.m. Approval of agenda. Marilyn Seiler, motion to approve. Tim O'Brien, second. All in favor, none were opposed. Reading and approval of meeting minutes from June 10th, 2023. Tim O'Brien read meeting from annual on June 10th, 2023. Jerry Sullivan, motion to approve. Charlene O'Brien, second. All in favor, none opposed. State of the community. Kelly Rom stated this. Our community is lost. She relayed that the board had to address many obstacles over the past year. The community is divided and struggles to work together for unity. She reiterated that those that filed FEMA claims will have information forwarded as needed, i.e. estimates of road repairs. Financial report. Kelly Harrell read financial report and answered questions. Charlene O'Brien asked questions about other income, road fund deposits, and wanted to give credit to original fundraising committee for $540 donated to this fund. Kelly stated she could provide information as requested. Tim O'Brien motioned to approve. Jerry Sullivan second. All in favor, none opposed. Old business, none. Open discussion. Tammy Waters stated there were 2 yellow kayaks on her property for anyone missing them. Ben Stubbs stated he had 2 John boats on his property. Michelle Lilly claimed one and Marilyn Seiler claimed the other, both stating they would pick up. Marilyn Seiler stated that everyone to file a FEMA claim. She asked that a line be added to the budget for FEMA funds and expenses. Kelly Rom stated that the new board will discuss at the first board meeting. Tim O'Brien stated he made an agreement with the property owner where our temporary road is located by helping to clean up the lot for the property owner. In turn, Camp Ranch Acres will be able to use the lot. He asked for a decrease in speed going through Hog Heaven subdivision to show respect for using the road. Teresa Rohde stated that she had to have a power truck come through the temp road due to a tree that had fallen on her home and knocked out the power. She had concern for the weight of the truck. Jerry Sullivan asked about the weight limit sign, and Kelly stated that she has it and will give to Jerry to construct. Charlene O'Brien stated she would help if needed in directing heavy vehicles coming across the temporary road. Kay Sullivan stated that she brought the FEMA letter if anyone wanted to inspect it for information. She also stated she wanted the board to sit before the meeting. Kelly Ron discussed that Travis Elliott was out of town. Joe Chambers was only notified his absence the morning of the annual meeting, and Kelly Harrell was conducting treasury duties. Kelly Ron stated the absence of the board members was not intentional. It was only because the 2 board members present were doing multiple tasks. Charlene O'Brien asked for clarification of bylaws on the website. Page 11 needs to be added to what was previously scanned and would be uploaded by Kelly Ron. Mike Harris stated he and his wife Jen are nurses and wanted to lend their experience to help in emergency situations, if needed while waiting for ambulance or emergency services to arrive. They gave their phone numbers for owners to call if needed. Counting of votes, election of new board of directors, ballots and proxies were counted by Mary Wallace, Lawrence Adamic. Members asked questions of how ballots were counted and if there were any invalid. Constable Adamic relayed that there were a few that were invalid. In the end, Jerry Sullivan had 17 votes, Kelly Harrell had 14 votes, Phil Kennedy and Charlene O'Brien had 13 votes, and Cody Hahn had 12 votes. The amendment proposal did not pass, with 12 approved and 14 disapproved. Next annual meeting was to be determined. Adjourned. Tim O'Brien, motion to adjourn. Kelly Harrell, second. All in favor. Meeting adjourned.
We have a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Philip seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is a member meeting. This is an annual meeting, so y'all are able to participate. Is it aye?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. She is counting the votes right now, so we're gonna skip the
Who is she?
Rachel King, and Eric Cravey is observing. Report on the status of the bank account.
It's in the works. There are some things that we need to do before
Such
we can
as?
open a bank account.
What are the things we
We
need
have
to
to
do?
file for a new EIN number.
Why?
Because the EIN that was obtained in 2024 is attached to the corporation that has been terminated.
It is not attached to it. The corporation has nothing to do with the EIN. They were two separate things. We got 2 letters from the IRS that said that we have to use the current EIN number that we have. The only thing that they don't have is nonprofit status paperwork, which has been null and voided because of the forgery and the vote. You can't open a bank account without nonprofit status for whatever reasons.
I don't think that is correct.
That's what I was told.
Well, that may be what you were told, but that is not correct.
Okay, so what banks will open up an account without nonprofit paperwork? Did y'all find one?
Yes,
Which one?
I
Bill?
believe Jerry's right. An EIN number is what banks require. Any kind of if you have a business license of any kind and an EIN number, you should be able to open a bank account. Nonprofit status is unrelated to that.
Okay, so all the banks that we've contacted around here, what I asked was, is there a bank that y'all contacted that will accept it without the nonprofit status and nonprofit paperwork?
yes.
And the name of that bank?
Well, one bank is US Bank. Will do so.
And where's that at?
That's an online bank.
Strictly online?
It would be yes.
We may I speak?
Yes.
Didn't we already have a list of like 5 banks that we were, as a board, putting in feedback as to which ones that we thought would have the best rates and options for the association?
We did, but they all require nonprofit status or the franchise exemption paperwork.
Did anybody physically go into the bank with our EIN number and attempt to open a bank account at any of those branches?
I didn't, but I did make the phone calls.
Jerry, did you go into any banks?
I did not go into any banks on behalf of this association.
Okay.
Kelly, did you?
No.
Charlene, did you?
Yes, I did.
So you tried to open up a
I did
bank?
try to open, I had a meeting with the department, or the bank head, about 2 weeks ago. And we've got to start from ground zero to obtain a new EIN number is the first step that we need to do.
And we have an EIN number with the letter that has it imprinted on it. Did we take that to the bank with us, or did we just talk and not show them the letter?
Yes, I informed the representative of everything that was going on in Camp Branch, and with the incorporation, the termination, and the bottom line is we're not viable to open an account right now. We've got to back up, start from ground zero, and rebuild our formation and our structure.
Okay, so just off the top of my head, the first thing I hear you saying is you aired all of our dirty laundry, and banks don't have to give you open an account. That's their discretion.
That's
if you go in
correct.
and you say that we're in turmoil, they don't want to have anything to do with us. That's why the other bank canceled us. So you go in with your EIN number and your whatever we have that shows that we are, just our EIN number should be enough. You say, I'd like to open a new bank account for our association, and you hand them the page with the EIN number on it from the IRS, and don't talk about anything else.
Well,
I wouldn't give us an account too if I aired all of the crap that we've had to go through during this last year.
yes, but to start a good relationship, you need to give full disclosure. We don't need to go into anywhere telling half truths.
We're not telling any half truths.
Well,
That
at
is,
that time,
they're
at
not.
that time, Phil, it was up in the air about the vote, about the incorporation. So that document was not valid to present to the bank.
So,
Okay, I disagree. We have an EIN number that has nothing to do with our nonprofit status or our being incorporated or unincorporated.
well,
So in any case, I would suggest that when this meeting is done, that somebody go to a bank with our valid current EIN number and attempt to open an account in person.
well, Charlene is working on that, and like she said, it's going to take another couple of weeks to get all this sorted out, and she will report on it at that point in time. Okay?
Well, the
All right.
association would have to change its name in the covenants and restrictions because the IRS issued the name under the new EIN number according to C1 of our covenants and restrictions. We didn't fill that out, they did. So,
Names can be changed.
Yes. So
It should have already been in progress by now.
there are things in progress. Okay? So,
what are the other things that are in progress? Y'all want full disclosure, tell us what the other things that are in progress.
I met with the IRS in person on Wednesday, July 2nd. They reviewed our paperwork, our covenants, our vendor invoices, our government papers, TRA, Texas Department of Transportation, everything that we've done business for the last 50 years, and made the determination that the 2024 EIN needs to be deactivated, that it is tied to a corporation that has been terminated, and that we need to file for a new EIN number with the name that we've done business with that they reviewed on the documents, Camp Branch Acres Property Owners Association.
So we have to file for a DBA? We have to file for a new name? Doing business as?
We don't have to file for a new name. That is our name. That is who we are.
It would,
That is who we've been. That is who we have been doing business for 50 years.
So you do know that a corporation or even an unincorporated corporation should be able to use their full Camp Branch Acres subdivision POA doing business as, and that should be just a simple form that takes one day to file.
Yes, it is. It costs about $11, and you can do more than one DBA, Phil. You can do Camp Branch Acres. You can do Camp Branch Acres subdivision property owners. You can do anything that you think may come to you in a form of a payment. So I'm well aware of DBAs.
so why wasn't all this information disclosed prior to today to the board members?
I just had the meeting, and we haven't had a meeting. I just had the meeting on Wednesday.
But you went to the bank, you went into the bank and you talked to them, but you didn't let the other board members know?
We're not viable. We're not viable for that bank.
so
It's a non-issue at this point. We're
You know,
not
it's a
prepared.
catch-22. Y'all want transparency, but then you don't.
well, at this at this point, I think we should go ahead and see if we have votes counted.
She's not in here yet. She'll be in here whenever she does.
Well, let me go ask her.
Need a report on the status of the directors and officers insurance.
We still have time to renew it. There is a grace period, and
How's it going to be paid if we don't have a bank account?
well, we'll have to make that determination.
It's possibly also invalid if we don't have a proper legal name.
Yes.
Can y'all turn your cell phones off, please, whoever's dinging? The next is liability insurance for the members. Because we are not a nonprofit corporation, each individual member is liable to an extent should something happen. And this community's never had liability insurance.
That's incorrect.
Not for the
An
members.
unincorporated corporation is liable for the members are liable for financial failures of the association, whereas an incorporated association is not. They are not. So
Right,
that's
yeah.
something that we should all just be aware of, is that if our insurance doesn't cover a financial claim, it falls upon membership to make up the difference.
Yeah, because we don't have the money in the bank account. Who are they going to go after? Each one of us.
That's right.
So, Mike, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, we are an unincorporated. Camp Ranch Acres has always been an unincorporated nonprofit.
No, we are not.
corporation
No, we
under-
are not.
Under Texas
That's your
rules.
interpretation.
No. It's per an attorney.
So you know
Per
what?
an attorney. Go ahead.
We are an unincorporated nonprofit association under unincorporated nonprofit association rules per the state of Texas. And that's recognized.
Except we're not a nonprofit. We are just an unincorporated association.
We
I
are,
think you would need to give a legal opinion on that. From
We have
somebody who
one.
Actually, yeah, where is
We
it?
have
Where is it?
I don't.
Uh-huh.
I did not bring my
Oh, I'm
my
sorry.
book.
He's speaking, I'm sorry.
so, we're an unincorporated nonprofit association, which I will present all that info. We have, as a matter of fact, presented all that information over and over.
A nonprofit can be treated as a separate entity.
And
If
Phil,
it's-
Phil,
if it's-
let me speak, Phil, please.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Unincorporated nonprofit rules in the state of Texas specifically give immunity to all individual property owners. When you are an unincorporated nonprofit, which we are, then it specifically states, and I'm not quite clear why you guys, it's plain as day when you do searches in it, but that's okay. That's gonna be solved here, and by the end of this meeting, I'm sure we're gonna go through all of that and show the members that's just the way it is. But in the meantime, there shouldn't be any decisions made during this meeting at this point until the votes are counted.
I think we all know who was behind the lack of.
I have the floor,
progress in the last
sir.
2 weeks.
I have the floor, sir. So we need to wait until the votes are counted and the new officers are decided for the board before we continue. Because you can go on with this, but when the new officers come on, and the new board can just change everything anyway. So you might as well just wait till the votes are counted.
I'm in agreement with that.
No,
Nope.
you should wait
Nope, it
until
should be
all board
forward.
members are present.
Property owners, what would you like to do?
Wait
until
everyone's
wait.
present.
Right.
Well, this is a new meeting, so that will speak at this meeting. Right. No, and everybody can speak, and those for and against can speak. We all have it's just, I just want to be great, That's what it is.
That's not a great
Yeah, but I'm sure that
Essentially.
Put that on pause. Okay, the question was about copied ballots. And so they were allowed, and also we have a piece of property that is in 3 persons' name, and there seems to be an issue with that. The name is different than the other people's name, and the 3 of them have to get together to vote. If 2 overrides 1, the 2 get the vote. I don't know what you people are not understanding about that.
Well, I'm not being denied my license.
You're not being denied. You and Rex and Randy get together and y'all vote, and whatever the majority is, that's what the vote is for that property address.
Where does it state that in the bylaw? It states,
Our bylaws they don't state anything. We have no direction on anything, but if you look and you ask an attorney, because we did, okay, it's just like us. The majority votes. Majority of that property votes because it's in a different name. You're not being denied. Just the 3 of y'all have to vote amongst yourself for that piece of property.
If my ballot isn't allowed, I'm being denied.
No. She sent out ballots to every email that we have on file. And yes, yours gets there. I don't know why you're not getting it, why you're not reading it.
I haven't been getting
She never gets anything. I never get. She doesn't have.
Hers gets mailed.
She does not get it.
Well, it disappears in transit.
Rick, to answer your question,
As
in the bylaws, to answer your question, where it states in the bylaw how votes are to go, it's per owner. You are the only valid owner of that property.
No,
to
he is
vote
not.
on that property, and here's
No,
why.
he isn't.
And
Rex
here's
and
why.
Randy and
Listen.
all 3 of them.
And here is why. The votes are per owner, not per lot. Randy already has a vote with Manor Lane, Manor Drive. That's his vote. Yours and his vote. Y'all are the owners. He, Rex, me, Tim, anybody else. You can't split that up. You can't add another vote. It's per owner, not per lot. If it were per lot, you would be 100% correct. But it's not per lot, it's per owner. He is the only one that doesn't own any other lots, and his is the only one that can vote on that property. Now, I agree with you that they need to get together and once and for all let their decision. But actually, he is the only one that can cast a vote on that property, or Rex or Randy negates their other vote.
No, because the property owner, the listing on the CAD for the property owner is Rick, Rex, and Randy. That's 3 people.
Yes, ma'am.
On ours, it's Randy and Kelly. That's 2 different property names. Okay? Even though Randy might be on 2 and Rex might be on 2, the name is under 3 people.
But then you get 3 votes.
No.
Yes, you do.
They vote amongst each other, the 3 of them, for that one property owner, and it's one vote.
They're already part of a vote. They're
So
part
it's
of
For
a vote.
something different.
That's all up to interpretation. It's all.
So if it's up to interpretation, let's err on the side of letting somebody vote.
get to vote. They vote.
He does get to vote. The 3 of them get together and he votes.
Do it.
Rick, do you feel like you're getting some votes? Just,
May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Number one, I would suggest when there's multiple people, what I've seen done in the past is the other two or more parties that are involved designate in writing who has the authority to vote. And then they decide amongst themselves before, but only one person has the official right to vote out of that threesome, or however many there are. You know, and they put it in writing that, you know, that they designate so-and-so to be their representative for votes.
It's very simple. It's in the bylaws as per owner. It is very simple. It's like you and Paola, Phil. You don't vote separately. You are a combined owner of your property. Tim and I are a combined owner of the property. I don't get a vote. He doesn't get a vote. One of us votes it. It's very simple. And because Randy and Kelly have other lots, that's their vote. Because Rex has other lots, that's his vote. So the only person that doesn't have any other lots that's listed on that property through Trinity County Appraisal District is Mr. Richard Wolf.
there you go.
I'm not saying that's not what happens. I'm just saying that's not necessarily in line with the law and how other corporations that I've been involved with, like Kansas Electric Co-op, they require me to designate, my wife and I are both on the, on the property as owners, and yet they require us to designate one or the other of us as the voting member for our electricity in our community. So it's not an unreasonable thing if you want to be completely 100% cover all your bases so that there can be no arguments, is you just fill out they send out a letter and you designate, with both your signatures, which one will have the authority to put their vote on a ballot, their name on a ballot. And then it's a done deal. There's no arguing. And is it going to make a matter today? Well, we won't know until the votes are out, whether or not one vote will be the difference between who's elected and who's not. So I just don't think, I think we should do something about it, but I don't think we should spend a lot of time arguing about it until after we find out what the vote tally is. And the new board can do whatever they want to do for the future, but we do need to resolve if there's more than one person on title whose signature is valid.
Yeah, I will ask for a legal interpretation of that later. And
I agree.
Yeah. How's she doing on the vote?
She's counting.
Okay.
We were on liability insurance.
So Texas Business Organizations Code. First, I'm going to read the part where it defines what a nonprofit organization is, and then I'll move down to why we're not covered. Title 6, Chapter 252, unincorporated nonprofit associations. Definition, in this chapter, member means a person who, under the rules or practice of a nonprofit association, may participate in the selection of persons authorized to manage the affairs. Nonprofit association means an unincorporated organization other than one created by a trust consisting of more than 3 members joined by mutual consent for a common nonprofit purpose. Form of joint tenancy in common, or tenancy, but that covers it right there in organization, business organizations code. That's not even a property code. That's for all types of organizations, little baseball teams, POAs, HOAs, and that's what we fall under. And that's codified in the business code. Now, we've established that we are a nonprofit, unincorporated nonprofit. We're not incorporated, and we're a nonprofit. You can either be a nonprofit or a profit. You're a business that makes money, or you're not a business that makes money, or whatever. We don't make any money, so we're a nonprofit.
Is that Mike who's speaking?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Then further down in section 252.006, liability in tort contract. A nonprofit association is a legal entity separate from its members for the purpose of determining and enforcing rights, duties, and liabilities in contract and tort. Section B, a person is not liable for a breach of a nonprofit association's contract or for a tortious act or omission for which a nonprofit association is liable merely because a person is a member. It is authorized to participate in the management of the affairs of the nonprofit association, or is a person considered as a member by the nonprofit association. And it goes on to explain further what that involves, but it's clearly, undeniably in Texas Business Code codified what a nonprofit organization is. Now I looked up what is in California. California has no such thing as a nonprofit.
We're not talking about
unincorporated. And I'm just pointing that out because Phil,
Yeah.
Phil's been on boards and everything. He might be a little confused between that, and that's no disrespect, Phil. I mean, it is.
Mike, if it helps, I agree with you. During this meeting, I looked it up, and the confusion, it's very clear that in Texas, a nonprofit, you're considered a nonprofit, as you said, as an unincorporated association. That's not an issue with me. I've looked it up, and I agree with you on that. I think possible the confusion could be the difference between a nonprofit and a tax exempt in some of our talking and discussing things.
Right, and
I can tell you that last year when I was asking the county and FEMA and TDM and the Department of Agriculture and everything, I said, yes, we're a nonprofit. And they said, show me your paperwork, either 501c3, 501c4, or your Texas nonprofit status. Or where does it say in the covenants and restrictions? Just because it says that, just by saying that we're a nonprofit did not work.
Except that's the law.
Except that's the law.
Exactly, but I'm telling you,
You did follow up with the right
Yes.
follow-up questions then.
But you
No.
do know we were not formed
So-
by three members.
so
We were
here's-
formed by one individual as a developer,
No.
not per your thing, three members.
So
We were
here's the
formed by a
here's the
developer,
flip side
one
to that
person.
is that it didn't. Well, let's count.
I don't think there's any organizations in Texas that can be formed by one member except a sole proprietor.
Right.
Did my due diligence.
Hold on. I got a question for you. Were there any votes not counted?
Yeah.
No, they were all counted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that. I counted all of them. I made sure to check them off the list.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, Bertha Corley got 18. Mike Harris got 21.
Congratulations to y'all. Okay.
Not race.
Yeah. So, thank you for your service, Kelly.
At least the lakefront will be represented as well.
Okay.
Huh? Oh yeah, yeah, 3 in a row there. That's real good.
Okay.
Kind of like it has been for the last 2 years of being up front.
Okay. Okay.
How are we going to deal with reimbursements? I would like to know how we're going to deal with reimbursements.
The new board will make that decision. Thank you. Come on up, Mike. You're on the board.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So, it's time for us to vote for the officers of the new board. Does anybody have a nomination to make at this time?
I would like to volunteer to stay treasurer.
Okay. Charlene would like to continue to be treasurer. Let's vote on that.
I I nominate Charlene for treasurer.
Second.
Okay. Let's vote. I vote yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Mike?
Phil?
Phil?
I'm just going to abstain right now. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine.
Are there any other nominations? Do we have more than one person that wants to be treasurer?
No,
We're going to give them a chance to tell us why they think they should be treasurer.
nobody else on the board has offered the nomination for treasurer.
I think she'd make a fine treasurer.
Yeah. So it will be 4-1.
Okay, well, I abstain, so you guys can carry it that way.
Okay, well, it'll be 4.
Usually we do these things at the next meeting and most of this stuff, so it seems a little odd, but that's fine.
Well,
You got it.
the property code says that we do it in front of the property owners, members, and we're going to do it that way. Okay. I nominate Mike Harris to be secretary. Do I have a second?
I second.
I'll second.
Okay. Then we need to vote. Anybody else interested in being secretary? Nope. Okay. Are you interested in being secretary, Phil?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So.
Yeah, and that was my question, is we were gonna vote and put one person in without, and now you're making a motion for a second person, so that now it makes sense.
Okay. All right. So now we need a vote. I vote yes.
Philip, aye.
Phil votes yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Everybody votes yes. So Mike Harris will be the new secretary.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Now we need a nomination for the chairperson.
I nominate Jerry.
I nominate Teresa Rhodey.
Okay.
No, that's the wrong name. Bertha is what I meant, Jerry. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Any other nominations?
Bertha didn't get elected to the board.
I know.
Never mind, guys. I was distracted. Forget that.
Do you have any other nominations you want to make? Phil?
No. You guys go ahead and move forward.
Okay. We need a second. Okay. Kelly Harrell seconded that. So now we need to vote. Mike?
Philip, aye.
Okay.
Mike is aye.
Aye.
Oh, aye.
Okay. So it's unanimous. So we've got Charlene as treasurer, Mike as secretary, and me as chairperson. Okay. We've talked about the D&O insurance. So let's move on. It's time to open it up for the members. Tim?
Yeah, I think in light of the previous board, we ought to honor them by respecting their wishes, and their wishes were as follows. Last year's ballot, there would be 3 positions open for a 2-year term and 1 for a 1-year term. On July 27th, there was a meeting. The board discussed who will act as a 1-year term. They nominated Phil. It was seconded and approved with no opposition. On January 9th, the minutes of January 27th were approved. Motion to accept by Kelly Harrell, seconded by Phil, and they were approved without dissension. So I move to recognize that Phil's term is over, and since we had 2 candidates, we put the second candidate in on Phil's place.
I second.
Okay. And this is a we've got a motion, and we've got a second. Is there any discussion?
Our bylaws for covenants and restrictions state that if you're voted in, you vote for a 2-year term. You're voted in for a 2-year term. The previous board decided not to replace that position and to let the members vote. He was voted in for a 2-year term.
It was clearly, can I retort?
The board didn't have the authority to make those motions. And it was in violation with our covenants at the time. So talking about the board not following the rules, this is a perfect example. Trying to pull shenanigans like this and make it like it's somehow legal is just wrong.
Thank you for your comment.
You can't make a motion and approve stuff that goes in violation of our covenants.
It was clearly.
You just can't do it. It doesn't matter if it's clearly stated or not. You have to change the covenants if you're going to quit following them this way. You know,
Phil, I'm glad
you can't pick and choose yourself. I'll tell you what, folks. I'll make it easy. I resign right now.
Okay.
Now you guys don't have to vote. You don't have to do anything. Congratulations, you got what you wanted.
Okay.
People are sick.
Yes.
You are sick.
You're out of order.
You've done hard work.
What's wrong with y'all?
Grow up.
Yes.
I mean, for the
I have-
last year,
wait.
y'all have put down members in this community.
Stop. You're out of order. We
You've done
need.
nothing for this community.
Remember meetings.
We have.
Push off and push off. The roads look like crap, and these people still support you because of your friendship.
We
They're
need.
going to stand up and they're going to bail on you when they continue to realize you're nothing but a politician who talks.
Okay,
Right.
this is done.
Thank
Call
you.
911 and have him removed.
For years.
Call 911 and have him removed.
Give them a warning. Go to
Hey.
it.
Let's
Okay,
go.
Hands are in my
all
lap.
right.
Give him a warning.
We need to keep it
We need-
simple and everyone speak one at a time.
Yes.
There's no civility.
There's no more
Thank you.
going
This is
for
what you're going to face forever.
going
Thank you.
forward. There's no more personal
Nothing
attacks.
is going to change as always.
We
I
need.
have the right to speak here as well.
Remember meeting.
If you would like to remove me, you're more than welcome to. My hands will stay right here on my belt buckle like they always have, Mike.
All right. We need a motion to accept
Stare
Phil's
down all you want.
resignation.
This is the
Jerry,
person elected.
can we
This
continue
toxic
the discussion
gentleman
just for a moment?
Yes. Okay. Please.
Phil brought up the bylaws, and I just want to point out, C6 of our bylaws clearly reads, at each election, the owner of each lot shall be entitled to one vote. Combined lots are to be treated as one lot. If you go down to, or up, C4, when filling a vacancy on the board, it clearly reads, a vacancy on the association's board of directors resulting from death, resignation, or inability or refusal to serve on any director may be filled by appointment by the remaining directors or said association vote. So the ballot that stated 3 2-year terms and 1 1-year term, it is in our bylaws. It is in our covenants. It does exist. Just to be clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now we need a motion to accept Phil's resignation. Okay. Eric Cravey was the first one up with his hand.
I second.
Kay Sullivan seconded. We have a vote to accept. All in
Chairman,
favor?
a point of order.
Okay.
You already have a motion that's been seconded on the floor,
Okay. Fine.
but I respectfully withdraw that motion.
Sir, the motion's not on.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I understand your point. Okay. All right. So now we need a vote to accept Phil's resignation. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? One opposed. Then it's two opposed. It's accepted. So
It's been a pleasure to serve with all of you.
Thank you.
thank you for your service, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
All right.
Bertha, do you accept?
No.
I make the motion that we accept Bertha since she came in on the second ballot. I said.
Okay. All right. Any discussion? Okay. We need a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? No opposed, so it's unanimous.
Mrs. Corley, do you accept?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Please join us.
Okay. Okay. Do we,
I'll move myself.
Cozy here.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Do we,
Bill, are you gonna stay on?
I think he went ahead and hung up.
No, he's still on.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're there? Okay, sorry.
You gonna stay on?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
still a member.
Yes, you're still a property owner. Okay, so any other discussion? Okay, then I need a motion to close the meeting.
Hold on, are we
Wait,
opening it up to the public? If
Wait.
that's the case, I'd love to.
Jerry, we need to talk about Texas Materials, Chico, postage reimbursement, TRA, Hog Heaven's payment, and Cover Wallet.
Okay,
I would just like to, once the account is open, I would like to be able to take care of those payments. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting is August 2nd.
mm-hmm.
Do
And
we want to table that until then?
no, I think we need to make those payments as soon as we can. So I think,
Do you want to do talk about the bank and just do that now, or you want to wait?
That's premature.
Yeah.
It is still
Okay.
premature.
she's still working on the bank, but
Okay.
what we could vote on is once we do get a bank account in place to authorize those payments, if we get that in place before our next board meeting.
Can we authorize that if a personal payment are made to satisfy these debts, that person will be reimbursed?
Oh, they should be.
Yes? So we have them,
Yeah, with all due respect, that's a board decision, not a general population, general meeting
Yeah.
decision.
right,
So we hired you guys to handle our finances. You guys need to do that at a board meeting, not an annual meeting.
Okay, that's true.
yeah, we can
You
have,
wanted transparency, so why not let members know about this?
well, I
I
don't,
didn't say do it behind closed doors. I said do it.
Okay.
Usually they call me doing
Yeah.
anything with them.
Okay, I see.
That's not fair. You just
Okay.
have to vote.
Unless it's.
okay. All right. Then,
Do we want to set a date for a meeting?
Our
It's
next
already-
regularly scheduled meeting is August 2nd.
mhm.
Do we want to wait that long, or do we want to have a meeting
Yeah, we
sooner?
probably need that
Need
long.
Well, wait, we're gonna hold
In
up.
the event something comes to light sooner, we'll call a special meeting and let the members know.
Okay, all
All
right,
right.
But I personally, Bertha helped me out, Kelly, Jerry. I just think we need to keep our regularly scheduled meeting for August 2nd.
Okay.
well, I'm in agreement with that, but I think we need to make these payments as soon as we possibly can.
So I make a motion that if somebody makes a payment on behalf of the board to one of the companies, one of the said companies, that they will be reimbursed by the board while we wait to get our bank account opened up,
Say, company, well, one, we need to add our individual.
or individual.
Okay,
Okay, good.
okay. Do we have a second on that?
Bertha second.
Bertha seconded that.
Okay.
It's, the board needs to vote in one. I vote yes.
I vote yes on that.
Yes. Okay, it's
All
unanimous.
due respect, this is a member meeting, not a board meeting. So you open it up to everybody or you don't vote on it. Whatever you want.
Fine with everybody. Let's go ahead and have a vote. Is it agreeable to the membership that, can you read your, that we can reimburse an individual who pays a company or an individual for some of these bills that we have prior to us opening a bank account, and that they would be reimbursed when we do have a bank account to make a reimbursement. Do I have? Okay. We got a motion. Okay, got a second? All right. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Okay, it's done.
Who seconded?
Who?
Scott,
Charlotte. Charlotte.
Second motion.
She seconded the
Okay.
motion.
You made it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is any other comments?
I appreciate that.
Before we open up the,
Sorry.
before, what? Hold on. I'm on the board.
Just one second, Cody.
Before we open up the discussion from the general public, I think the board should set some ground rules here. Okay. No more, as in no more personal attacks. You speak to the board and the board business only about the community, about board issues, roads, and everything.
This
More
is a
issues
member
than
meeting.
water issues.
He can say whatever he
It is a member
wants
meeting, right?
to this member meeting.
All right. Well, then go for it, Cody.
You're not my friend, and you never will be.
We are
It's
gonna
okay.
time-
This is
okay.
about, this, God is in this.
All comments are gonna be,
Devil.
3 minutes.
It's fine. Yes, ma'am.
Cody, I'll have that where you can see.
Oh, it's perfectly fine.
Ready?
Nice.
However, I am extremely uncomfortable with an armed
hands
citizen
up.
being that. So please move back
God.
and just.
I'm sorry, ma'am?
I don't like that at all.
You might not be from here.
That's legal,
I
but
apologize.
let's keep your distance.
You'll find this.
Okay, all
Let's
right.
let's
This is not
hope.
here for your intimidation. This is here for my protection.
That's enough. Okay,
Again,
enough.
I'll state again what I just spoke to everyone. This isn't here for intimidation.
Yes, it is.
This is here for protection.
It's
If you'd like,
bullshit.
It's Texas.
this isn't my time. Just so you know, I'd like to.
Welcome.
This is-
Texas. Everybody
He's not
has
the only one.
one.
I am too, but I don't wear mine out in public.
That's your own problem. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can they?
Point of order.
Can
Cody
we-
Hahn has the
You're
floor.
not even a member,
Okay.
so
You don't know how many are standing around you guys. That's the thing.
Please,
Not about putting people
Please.
down, okay?
please.
It's
That's what
about,
you guys
not
voted
about.
for.
He's got.
It's about what you guys say.
He's not going to be able to talk. Everybody can go home, or you can just let him talk and
He's-
whatever he has to say. out.
Yeah.
He's got. He's got.
He's
Everybody
not
turn your back on.
He's not breaking any
Oh,
laws.
that
He's
is
not
so
doing anything. He's not allowed to.
Hey, then please.
So, okay, hey.
Hey.
So we can all go home, or we can listen to him. But that's the only way this is going to go.
Just
He's got.
let him speak.
He's got 3 minutes.
He's got 3 minutes. Let him split. Please, let him speak.
Yes.
Okay, that's a warning to both of you. Right there. That's one warning. Mr. Hahn has the floor.
May I get on my time? Or we're gonna start? Thank you. So as I was stating, this was also twisted into something that most of you guys were not here for. It was a threat that I had a gun, so we'll start with that. No, this is here for my protection, not intimidation. Maybe you are all aware, maybe you're not. I've heard from Charlene several times she didn't read that website. So if I honestly didn't plan on coming here and starting anything today, otherwise I would have all the proof. I have over 250 pages printed out that have been submitted as evidence in Mike Harris's lawsuit. So we will find out who the author of that website is. They don't want you to know that. They want you to think that it was somebody else. Let you know there is an overseen organization that will let us know who that is. I will tell you that every bit of circumstantial evidence proves that it was them. Okay? So you guys, at a certain point, your reputation stems on who you support. So all I can come here today and tell you is that the people that you're supporting are supporting violence, supporting anger, and supporting hating other people. You can get up and walk away, but one of the most specific articles
Let him
written in
speak.
this website was, I will remove the toxic waste that exists in our community masquerading as human beings. Is that something you guys support?
Yep. I thought you were talking about the road.
And that's okay. I understand your opinion, but that's my voice here to come today. That if these are the things you support, I want you to put your name on it. I want you to know that these are the things you're supporting. Because then I can know I don't have to associate myself with you guys. You're welcome for your sign. You're welcome for all the maintenance that's been on the roads. I'll continue to do it because I'm a man of my word, and I'm not here to have a personal fight. But this isn't here to intimidate anyone. This is here to protect myself, protect my family, and protect my mother. Speaking of mother, we got a couple more minutes. Speaking of my mother, the hypocrisy that comes from this front row. I'm not picking out any of you guys. I just happen to see the two faces that I remember. I was denied votes and told I wasn't qualified to fit on the board because my mother also served on the board. But because the shoe is on another foot, today we now have a gentleman who's right next door Who? They want to undermine and say that I say I don't have enough skin in the game. No, what I was highlighting is that when someone gives another man or woman a piece of property, it's highly likely to think that they're now indebted to that person. Jerry Sullivan gave Jen Harris and Mike Harris their piece of property. If there's any person in here with half a neuron in their brain, they understand that he is now indebted to Jerry.
That's personal information,
Ma'am?
and you should not be disclosing that.
And
Yield my time,
you were
please.
talking about the roads.
Please yield my time.
He was talking about the roads. Why is he bringing up all this?
Because I have 3 minutes to speak, ma'am.
Roads.
Cody, please.
I've been oppressed for almost a year and I've said absolutely nothing. I've spoke on nothing. I was removed from Facebook. I raised over $5,000 for this community last year and was accused of being a thief. I was accused of being a felon. I was accused of being a drug addict, a false police report. I was vandalized.
Cody, you have 10 seconds.
Yes, ma'am. And none of you guys want to stand up or ask questions. For the person who investigates everything, she doesn't investigate the fraud and she doesn't investigate who wrote the website.
Time.
Use your brain, folks.
Thank you. All right. Any other person want to make a comment? Okay.
Paula was on the phone. Bill, does she want to state?
It's crazy.
Phil? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Phil.
I need a motion to close the meeting.
I motion to adjourn.
I want to speak real
Motion.
quick. I want to speak real quick.
Okay, fine. Randy wants to speak.
My name's Randy Wolf. I'm a property owner here. Glad to see you guys make it to the annual meeting. And I don't know how we get there. I did a little bit the last time that we were in conflict. I want us to somehow to figure out unity. I don't know how the hell that's going to happen,
Right?
but that's what I want.
Yes.
I know this, it starts with forgiveness. And it's hard to do. A lot of stuff's been going on here. And I don't think anybody has perfectly innocent hands here. You know, but I commit to do the next right thing, whatever that may be, as long as, you know, there aren't consequences of, you know, retaliation or anything like that, which I hadn't done any and I ain't planning on doing it, you know. And all the other stuff, I'm willing to let it go. Now, everybody else in here ain't that way, you know, but that's what I wanted to say, you know, is that I'm here, I'm a part of the community, I'm grateful to be here, and I don't agree with everything that goes on here, but, you know, I want us to figure out unity somehow.
Amen.
You know? That's what I want. That's what I believe our Creator wants, whether you believe in God or not, you know, and, you know, I'm glad to be here, and it's painful. I don't like the turmoil and chaos and fussing and fighting, but I understand it, you know. A lot of times it's like high school. We never get out of high school, seems like sometimes, you know. But, you know, we can get through this. Maybe one day we can look back and laugh at all this silly crap. It's not just here, people. It's everywhere. It's every community. It's everywhere else out there. It's not just here. I remember my dad telling me, hey, you know, I went to that meeting, and as soon as the gavel dropped, everybody started screaming they wanted their way. And as soon as that happened, he got up and he walked his ass out. You know? And I don't want us to get like that, you know. And I know that kind of stuff can happen from time to time. You know, I want us to be unified. You know, I want us to be unified if we can. That's all I got.
Thank you, Randy. That was well said. Yes.
And I'd like to say thank you for the folks that voted not only for me, but for
Bertha.
For Bertha here. You know, Bertha and I have worked together on the bylaws committee. And you know, I'm looking forward to continue to work with Bertha. And, you know, she's been on the board before. She's got a lot of great ideas. And she's well known in the community. I'm becoming, you know, more and more known in the community, and thank you for just the support, not only for me and Bertha, but just for the board for coming out today. You know, hopefully later on in the year we can do some type of, we didn't have a gathering or food or break bread or anything, but maybe later on in the year, maybe Labor Day as an idea, or later on if we could maybe plan something as a community just to get together for 2 or 3 hours, bring some food, nothing fancy, and maybe just hang out for a little bit. And but thank you.
One thing.
All right. Charlotte.
I just want to say, I was okay with him here. But when I see him with that gun on, And I thought he wasn't supposed to do that. I didn't like that because things happen in schools. If people get violent, you never know what could happen. I didn't like the idea he was wearing his gun.
Yep.
That's all I got to say.
Point
Thank
taken.
you.
We do
Thank you.
have a deputy here
Guns wrong.
for our protection, Mr.
It
Officer
just
Fulcher.
scared me. You see him with that gun right there.
And I think he stated that it is not illegal for someone
I know.
to wear a gun on their side. I understand the uncomfortable feelings,
Yeah.
but we need to move past it.
Okay. Well,
Anything else,
I'm
sir?
not going to bring a gun ever, y'all, so
Okay.
let y'all know that anywhere. I'm a cowgirl.
All right. Anything else, Charlotte?
That's it.
Okay.
Kelly?
My name's Kelly Rom, and I'd like to say I've never been more disappointed in a community in my entire life. The hate that has been spewed over the last year, a website that was created to belittle and berate and chastise people in this community, and a Facebook page and a Twitter page and a YouTube page, and lies and misinformation that is spread out there without getting facts, without people doing their own research, is deplorable. We brought fraud and tax evasion and how this community was run illegal for 57 years. And technically, because we did not have a valid tax ID number for not filing taxes, and yes, whether you file a zero tax return for a homeowners association or $100,000, you still have to file a tax return in order to make your ID, your EIN valid. It's the lady on the phone call stated that's how you use it, not by using it on a bank account or a loan. And the fact of the matter that bank never ever validated that tax ID number. Frankly, I'm glad that they quit us and said take your business elsewhere, because they knew they were doing wrong. But the attitudes in this community that have been put out there, neighbor helping neighbor, that's not neighbor helping neighbor.
We love each other.
That is evil. That is just pure evil for the words and the hate that have been spewed out there against your neighbors that have gotten out there and helped this community even when their health was at risk. We tried to do what was in the best interest of this community, and y'all fought in the wrong way instead of asking questions, instead of doing it like an adult. You started acting like children, and that's very sad. And I feel sorry for this community, and I feel sorry for the elderly that have been manipulated by the lies and the misinformation. That's all I got.
Thank you. Oh, wait.
Yeah, Pat.
Yeah.
No, you got a lot to say about all these people that sit here. Most of them are good. You're doing the best thing you can. Can't stand that one.
Okay, your turn.
That's just my opinion.
I'm going to talk for all of the secretaries before me, including that one that just walked out. She also did not go to the bank and ask about the EIN number. None of us did. The first secretary I knew of when we moved here over 25 years ago was Miss Jewel Green. Okay, after Jewel Green came Pat Fountain, then Miriam
Fisher.
and then me, and then there were a couple of others. I've been off and on. There were a couple of others that did not stay very long. Rose loved the lady, and Bertha, and all. None of us were told way back then that we had to file. In fact, we were told that we did not have to file taxes with the government because we were a nonprofit association. So if you're told that you don't have to, do you think that you're going to go to the IRS and say, oh yeah, we have to do that? The information was not out there 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 50 years ago, like it is now online. Now we find out, yes, we are an unincorporated nonprofit, and there's one little postcard that we have to send in every year. We did not know that, including the one who just walked out. She knew that. Then she's turned on all of us saying that we were accused of tax fraud because we didn't file it when she didn't file it herself. Okay? Now we know, we'll get it done, and from now on we will do that. What I don't understand, and I hope that Kelly Harold here will tell us, since Kelly Wrong has left, why did you file for incorporation without telling anybody?
Because we got a legal opinion from an attorney that stated we did not have to get a member vote, and because, as I stated at a meeting several months ago, all the documents that had been put out, including the lawsuit that the POA had filed, stated that we were an unincorporated corporation.
Well,
including
we
the
have
resolution
we
that
have
you
gotten-
created
We've
that
gotten
you sent
opinions
to the
counter
bank.
to that too.
Well, let's,
Right, you asked me a question, I'm answering your question.
All right.
Okay?
Then why did you not tell anybody for 4 months?
It's not that I didn't tell anybody. The previous board, we talked about it and we said we need to make this entity legal before the new board takes place.
Okay. I know one person who says that he says if there was no vote, the other one says he can't remember.
Okay.
But you didn't tell the two new people that came in. You wanted Charlene to pay
No,
bills
our very-
on a EIN number that was not disclosed.
Do you want me to talk or no? I guess not. You just want to make your statement, so that's fine. Have a seat. I'm done.
Can we go ahead and adjourn the meeting, please?
Yeah, we can.
I would like to
Because I'm not going to
say
sit here.
something.
and
I would like to
bullshit.
say something.
Jerry, it's enough.
For a year and a half,
Come on.
this has been an issue. We have rocked this baby almost to death. We need to put it to bed. These questions have been answered. The corporation has been terminated. We need to move forward. We need to take care of this association, these property owners' business. We need to get these roads done. We need to quit bringing up the past and throwing it in people's face. Just like Mr. Wolf said, there isn't anybody here that's perfect.
No.
Okay? We need to move forward. The questions have been answered. It wasn't devious, mischievous. It was people that, from what I understand, everything that I've heard, thought they were doing the right thing at the time. Okay? Let's move forward. Trust this board, or just give us a chance.
I love y'all.
So please, everybody, tell your friends. We need to look for a brighter day tomorrow. We need to stop dwelling on the past and calling people out. Volunteers, no less, that are volunteering their time, their energy, their efforts. Which, like you said, Kay, people have done for years. All trying to do the right thing.
I think most people like.
And that's it. My time's up.
Okay.
Tim?
Am I allowed to vote now?
That's between you and your brothers.
I don't know who that lady was that just spoke, but I agree with her. I move to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Do I have a vote?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. I know this is a 4th of July holiday weekend. Hope you enjoy your weekend.
Everything she says on the
Thank you.
internet, God bless her. She is a soft-spoken voice, and I love her. Love her.